It's too quiet now.
I'm waiting for Felis to talk.
I rather have the stream pulled up. Hi, everybody. I'm undeadfelis. I'm the computer. So, suck on that.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Emoris. Welcome back. So, before we get started tonight, all the usual announcements go. Subscribe on YouTube for all the fun content and stuff that goes up there. Follow us on Twitter and join Discord and stuff. Very good. Griz.
My brain is boggled right now, dude. Esprit's missing. He's just gone. It's the case of where is Esprit?
Make sure that you tune in on Friday nights at 7:30 EST to catch Lost Mine of Phandelver on this channel, or the next day on YouTube at the same time.
It's an extra special episode, so it'll be super duper long. Be ready for it.
Ooh, apparently, Esprit's camera has done what a Lakian often does and just fucking disappeared.
Special guest appearance.
It's life imitates art.
Well, does anyone else have any other announcements? Dyto, I think you have one.
Yeah, we have our celebration for hitting affiliate coming up very soon. I should be home from vacation in a couple of days, and we'll get started on all of the final things for that. So stay tuned to our Twitter, our YouTube, Discord, all that fun stuff to find out more.
Awesome. And then I feel bad, so Felis, I know what your announcement is, but go for it.
Yeah, wash your hands, stay inside, stay safe, wear a mask.
Awesome.
Go kill your grandparents.
And don't
we
pee
wait
on your
for
pants.
Grizz to fix the stream. Is the cameras on stream? Is my stream lagging?
The camera should be on stream right now.
I see everyone again.
I see everything.
I found Esprit.
It's probably just my stream lagging.
You did find me. I'm so happy. I'm no longer missing.
Yeah, we found him.
We got him, boys. We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Without further ado, if everyone is ready, then we can go ahead and jump into tonight's game.
Let's do it.
Emoris.
Ooh, ooh.
All right, let's go.
So, previously on Emoris, the Silver Goats had, upon the orders of the Convex Order, Order of the Order, you have left Recrovy with your new companions, one Loven and one Asmin, hopping in the cart with you guys. You had a couple of conversations with Master Focus last session, who was the person who escorted you out of the city, and Izzy had a conversation with a figure that you later learned to be the head of demonology at the Echelon. But subsequently, you were under the cover of night, disguised in a illusory cart, and led down the main roads in Recrovy to the western gate where you left the city, on your way to Wade, Kev, and Asmin's hometown of Kageo. As you made your way out onto the open road, and essentially where we left off, you just managed to make your way into sort of like a pit stop town. Familiar to three of you, the town of Landapar is where Free, Elakian, and Wade met. And as you came into town, in much the familiar way with this party, the group split into a single and a four-person group.
As we do.
As you do. So, Elakian started to head off towards one of the buildings that you were familiar with a little bit, but had never entered before. That being the Raven Spire here in town. And the rest of you decided to head off towards a pub that the three of you had stayed in before. The Ale's Bottom, correct. And yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. So, As you ride along, so the three of you, Thyra, Wade, and Free are all in the cart. Izzy, you are flying up above.
Yeah.
Just sort of trailing the cart as you are, and you can see from your flying vantage point
Flying high like a butterfly.
the direction that the Lakian is headed to. You can see because you're above the skyline, basically. There is this large cathedral building that is sort of jutting out in the center of town, which from this perspective, it's not a very big town. So you can see this building with a very tall, central tower that comes up and rests to a very, very thin point on top. And on the very front of the building, you see a large, circular stained glass mural that depicts a lady wearing all black with a sort of porcelain style mask. Almost reminds you of Court of Owl's mask. You know, this very white, sort of very basic beak with 2 slots for eyes that she's just sort of holding slightly ajar to her face. You can see that off to the one side, and on the other side where the cart is starting to head to, you do see kind of off in the distance there is a small building jutting out from in between 2 of the other ones, with a sign coming out of it. It's slightly smaller than the other 2, and the sign coming out of it has a picture of a standard pub mug with liquid being poured in that's just coming out of the bottom. So, Silver Goats, as we walk into town, who wants to go first, and what would you like to do?
Lucy, I'm home. No, I'm just kidding.
Lucy, I'm home. I can go first, I guess.
Okay, if you would like to. Sure, so you start making your way over to the spire. You walk through a number of, slots in the winding, snake-like buildings here to, hop from street to street to street. But all the while, the spire is so high up above the skyline that you could make it out from any point in town. And as you sort of walk through it, you come off onto what is essentially a large, maybe 100 feet by 50 feet long. It's almost like an open, grassy area. There is a small fountain in the middle, and on one of the ends, you can see there's a crossroad that interjects and it sort of leads off into a number of different smaller paths. Each one ends in a small stone mural or shrine. And beyond that, to your left, you do see the large, cathedral building that is somewhat familiar to you.
Okay. Is there a crowd outside, or does it seem...
There are a couple of people just sort of wandering in and out of this courtyard. There aren't really very many people going towards the cathedral itself. It's midday, so there's a decent presence around. There are people walking and doing things, but there's no one really blocking anything, or there's no mass of people in one focused area.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna head into the cathedral. Then.
Okay. Sure.
Or at least attempt to.
You can move around the courtyard if you want. You don't have to get through it. But easy enough to do. Yeah. As you walk up to it, you see this large, deep stone grey, very, very well worked masonry of this large church. As you walk up to it, you also see the circular stained glass art that is on the front, and underneath of it there are these large, very, very tall, maybe 20 feet tall, oaken doors that sort of come to a point in between the 2 of them that are open, and you can see beyond there is a small 20 by 20 foot room with a number of doors in it, but in the center, sort of on the back wall, very large, tall, high desk with just a guy sitting behind it.
I guess I'll approach the guy.
Okay, sure. You walk up to the desk, which is also maybe 13 feet high. Just to stand there and look up. And you see him sort of move over to get a better look at you. As you do, you see these like darker black robes. It's kind of reminiscent of, I know, it's kind of reminiscent of what like a nun would wear. But there's no headpiece that you can see on the guy, and also
Okay.
the clothing itself seems to be intricate and detailed and woven with a sort of feather pattern or design, and like a grayish string. It's nice.
Okay. I'm just kind of look up to him and just be like, "Hi there."
Yeah, he sort of looks down at you, sort of vague smile comes across his face. He's like, "Hello, you all right there? What can I get for you?"
Well, I was hoping to possibly talk to one of the priests here, if possible.
Oh, I can talk to you if you want. It's fine. Nice to meet you. My name's Gavar. He sort of waves down because you can't shake his hand. It's too
Just
far
kind
away.
of wave up to us, be like, "My name's Alakian. No offense, but is there someplace more private we could talk by chance? Or somebody that I could talk to more privately?"
I'm not sure if I'd be able to take you anywhere too private. Well, you can go into the main chamber, and I can see if I can find someone for you there. I can't really leave my post here. I'm sure I could find someone for you if you want to go into the main chamber, but it's mostly for prayer. There are people in there, so you might have to find a corner.
That's fine. I can do that. I think I can manage.
Okay, no problem. He starts climbing down the tall table. You see, he's like in his 40s, like very, very, very short hair. It's graying a little bit, but he seems chipper enough. You know, he's shorter than you. And he sort of leads you around. You see now that he's out in full force, the clothing that he's wearing is very intricate, very detailed, very clean. It's nice. It's probably very expensive to get. He takes you around to one of the side doors. There are two doors that sort of hold behind the large table, and he takes you through one of them. And as you do go through it, you see a vast, like, open chamber. You see it's maybe like 100 feet down, as big as the courtyard outside. There are just rows and rows and rows of pews, large, tall stone columns, which are also engraved with symbolism of ravens. There is an altar area at the very, very end that sort of has a statue of what you can only assume to be the Raven Queen. It is a slender, black-cloaked figure with just sort of a face covering that's just resting there. She's gently holding it, and like 3 fingers that is just attached to her face. Hooded, and you see these large, like long black wings that sprout out. Amongst that, there are a number of candles and a number of offerings as well. You see there are like pieces of art that people have done, bits of coin, you know, just all basically things that you would expect to be offered here.
Yeah.
Standing next to it, you see another person who appears to be a priest or a priestess. They are dragonborn. They appear to be of like bronze coloration, with sort of like speckly, stringy white hair coming out the back of the head. She's just gently talking to someone about something by the altar itself. That's pretty good. Yeah. As you're walking down, you see, you know, there's a gnome in here. There's a halfling, a couple of humans who are all just sitting in the pews praying. There's a couple of like benches off to the side that a couple of people are sitting in. You see another priest that you assume, who's just gently sitting there watching. And Gavar leads you up to the Dragonborn, and just sort of patiently waits there, holding his hand for her to be done. And as the person walks away, she comes up to you. He says, this lovely gentleman would like to talk to one of the priests in private as possible, but I'm not authorized to leave my post, so could you take this for me? And you see her say,
yes, of course. It's nice to meet you. My name is Warnavera.
hold out the hand.
I'll take her hand, I'll shake it. Be like, I'm Zalakian.
Very nice to meet you. So, what can I help you with?
Well, I seem to have what I can only assume been called into service, as it were, by the Raven Queen. And I was hoping to get some insight into how to go about doing that.
Right, I can teach you a lot about the matron, but what is called into service to you?
Well, to put it simply, I feel like my destiny is linked to her. And I'll pull out the necklace that I had made, and I'll show it to her to be like, it's a long story as to how I got this, but the short version is I reached out and someone responded and I got this feather within that response.
Yeah, you see there's sort of like a look of recognition on the face as she's like gently closes her eyes and nods. He says,
Well, it is uncommon for one to be chosen by the matron herself, but it would appear that you have. So, why don't we walk around and I will answer your questions for you.
Sounds like a great idea to me.
Wonderful.
and she takes you by the back, just gently places her hand there and starts walking. So, what questions would you like to ask her?
How often have there been rumors of somebody being reincarnated and brought into service for her?
Yeah, there is like a dazzled, questioned look on her face for a second. She says,
Well, I personally have never heard of such a thing. I know someone who might. Follow me.
she starts leading you over to the person that you saw on the side, over to the in like a more secluded, darker area. Who's just gently watching there. You see her walk up, and she takes you to a very, very older woman. Looks to be about 80s. Wrinkled, long gray hair that looks very kept up. This person clearly makes an effort for their appearance. The red skin and gentle horns of a tiefling. Wearing also familiar black feather inscribed clothing, but hers looks a lot more detailed.
Okay.
You see her say,
This is Faith. She's the head priestess of this spire.
and you watch as the tiefling lady like gently, slowly stands up and reaches a hand out. She says,
Right, my name is Faith. It's very nice to meet you. I can sense the magics on you from a while away.
What kind of magics? I'll take her hand though, and I'll shake it gently.
Well, when you are in tune with the matron such as I, you learn to recognize her scent on people. It's not hard for me.
Okay, but I still don't think I understand what you mean. I'm really brand new to all of this, so...
Well, this is fine. You are not the first to come to me like this. And I can answer your questions. To answer the first one that I overheard, I also have not heard of other people being reincarnated, but the matron is the goddess of death, of passing on. I suppose it would be within her power to deny someone of this, if she chose.
I know you can't expect to speak for her, but would it be more common do you believe that it'd be more common as a form of punishment or as a form of pushing them towards doing something greater than themselves?
What does your experience tell you? Do you think you have been punished?
I honestly don't know.
I cannot answer your question for you. But if you are here to worship, I would wager that the mother has looked kindly upon you.
Okay. Those magics you speak of, am I able to use them to help myself or others?
If you feel that that is your calling, then I think that is very noble, and you should. The matron has gifted you a power, and it is not for her to decide how you use it. You are your own person.
Okay.
How familiar are you with these magics?
Little to very little to next to none experience.
But you are an adventurer, yeah?
I am.
You see a turn to the Dragonborn,
I think we could use him.
and the Dragonborn turns back.
I don't know if we...
I've lost the voice completely.
I don't know if we should do this. We have had trouble in the past with these things.
And you watch her say back, turn to you.
If you are around later today, I have a favor to ask of you. I will answer more of your questions in return for this.
Can I have a heads up as to what this favor might be? I've learned from experience that going in blindly to something is not a wise decision.
Of course, yeah. We have had a problem over the past few years of small creatures in the basement wanting to come out of it. And I think that you would be good for dealing with them. They're not very strong, probably won't take very long, but yeah, I think it would be good for us if you would help.
Would it be okay if I brought some help along?
If you choose to, but I don't have anything to pay the rest of you with.
Okay.
All I have are the answers that you have asked for.
Okay. Well, I know I'll be back. I don't know if I can speak for anybody else. There's something else I was going to ask. I can't remember what the heck it was off the top of my head. Damn it. Train of thought.
Ask her if she remembers the one shot.
That's an interesting thing to say, Griz. Why'd you say that?
Wondering.
Just wondering. Well, I guess for now, I'm gonna sit. I guess I'll sit here and pray for a little while, because I did promise my friends I'd meet them back within a short time. So
You are more than welcome to pray here anytime.
all right. You mind if I sit here? I'll kind of motion next to her.
Yeah, not at all.
And you watch as she sort of gently, very slowly, very creakily sits back down with the help of the Dragonborn. And yeah, you sit. Dragonborn leaves. And you begin your prayer to the Raven Queen.
Before I do want to turn back to Faith, because I remember what my other question was.
Okay.
I'm going to turn back to Faith, and I know I'm new. Fresh blood, so to speak. But I can't help but admire the robes that everyone here is adorned with. I don't guess it'd be possible for me to get something that's maybe not as intricate, but something of the kind.
I can see what we can do. If you are planning to stay, then that would be something that we could definitely look into. Otherwise, I will see what we have. I'm not promising that I will find anything, though.
It's fine. I'm definitely not planning on staying. I feel like I'm being called elsewhere. But if you could find something, that'd be great. If not, it's no big deal.
I will absolutely try, child.
Thank you. Now I'll begin praying.
Yeah, you begin praying. Sure. Shifting over to the rest of you, the cart down the main road here stops in a place not too far away from the ale's bottom that you two remember, Free and Wait. Before the driver turns to you and says, "Okay, I will try to find a place to stow the horses for the night. If you would like to sleep in a hotel, you are more than welcome to do so. I will probably not. But
Where are you
we
gonna
can meet
stay?
back. I will probably stay with the horses, yeah. It is better that way. Make sure they are not stolen.
Okay, don't sleep. You shouldn't sleep in the pen with them, though. I'm not sure if you knew that. Get easily kind of trampled and things don't go so well.
And Picnic Lake's hair.
Thank you for your consideration.
They also poop a lot. Horses, that is.
I will meet you back at the hotel in the early hours of the morning. We should get going and not stay here long. But enjoy yourself.
Right.
He'll shuffle off the cart. Off he goes.
Alright, so where are we going from here?
I want to stop in there. The pub. They have beds in there. I mean, not a great experience. It's not really their fault and all. But last time I was sleeping in that bed, I did get dragged out and put into captivity. But
Maybe
you know,
don't sleep in the bed this time.
yeah, but it's not really their fault, and they were really nice, and I think you'd really like them, Thyra. Like I said, twin sisters, half orcs. Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
I ain't saying nothing.
What's Cherry gonna think?
I don't think a good time for me. That's not what okay. Never mind. Let's go in.
Okay, sure. It's like a 2-minute walk down in between a couple of streets to find the ale's bottom. It is familiar to you. So yeah.
When I see them approach the door, I like to land in front of them, like between them and the door.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So as you remember where it is, Wade, you'll like walk up to the door. Izzy just drops down next to you.
Hello?
There you are.
Hi. Just stretching my wings out.
That's cool.
It's pretty great.
All right.
It's very fun. It's freeing.
Man, I wish I could fly.
Do you want to fly for a bit, Wade?
No, I'm okay.
I could
Sure,
throw you
go
up
in.
into the air.
I can give you wings if you want to try it.
Okay, I'm okay. Don't worry that I mentioned it.
All right. Give him a weird look.
I'll pat him on the back. We'll get y'all some pixie dust one of these days.
I'm gonna fold my wings in and go inside the bar.
Okay, sure. As you walk into the bar, you see it's midday, right? It's early afternoon. There aren't very many people in here. There's like one person off to the side who's just eating a jacket potato by himself. Just, you know, doing his thing. It's not a very big bar. It's not a very overly clean bar. You know, there are a couple of stains here on the floor, but they do their hardest to maintain an appearance here. You see a number of tables, a couple of booths along the back end, and an actual bar, like physical there, sort of runs along one of the walls with a big case of booze behind it, and you know, sort of standing there behind the bar, you see a half-orc. Appears to be late 20s, maybe early 30s, who the very, very dark black hair that sort of just falls down to about shoulder length, just down here, wearing, you know, basic clothes. She's not crazy rich or anything like that. She would not stand out in a crowd.
Elbow Thyra. Like, you look like your type. Gesturing to the half-orc behind the counter.
I mean, she's alright. I tend to like them a little more exotic, and I see that every day.
Okay, fair point.
So yeah, as you all funnel into the bar, you see her. She's just like gently like dipping back down behind the bar to arrange things and coming back up and wiping down the tables. She hasn't quite noticed you guys all enter yet. She's in a bit of a panic frenzy, you know, trying to clean everything before.
I'm back. I'm back for that drink.
Hey, watch as she turns. You recognize her, Wade and Free. This is the youngest sister. This is Ist.
Oh, this is Ist? Oh shit,
This
that's
is Ist.
isn't that a bad sign?
I don't.
What do you mean, isn't that a bad sign?
Wasn't she supposed to be going off to like study or something? Didn't somebody say that last session?
She was last time you saw her. She was preparing. She was studying to take an entrance exam to the echelon.
So like she probably didn't get in.
You don't
Or
know.
What
take
I'm implying.
As you say, I'm here. You watch as she turns. She's like, "Oh, hey, Wade, right?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that's me. I thought you were
I
gonna
haven't
do.
seen you in a while."
Yeah, that's right. Last time I was here, in fact, we were bonked over the head, dragged out, and sold into slavery. You know, or almost.
Yeah, I wondered what happened to you.
Yeah, don't worry about it, none. I'm not gonna like leave a bad review or anything. Not what this is about.
Okay, sure. Come take a seat for a second. And you watch as she runs back out into the kitchen for a little bit. And sort of leaves you there. Do you take a seat?
Wait. Free.
Yeah.
Last time you were here and you were dragged out, does that mean you kept out paying for the rooms, or did you pay beforehand?
I think we paid beforehand, right?
I don't recall because we started with that my character already
Oh.
being there, so I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? No, we earned the rooms by fighting those remember those elemental things that were flying around in their house.
The methods, right?
Yeah. Sure.
You got rid of their bug problem, so they gave you a room?
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, I guess that means we don't have to deal with them wanting any sort of back rent, so that's good.
Well,
You watch as the door opens back up and she comes running out, noticing there are now 5 of you like sitting at the bar. She's like, "And free, right?
correct.
It's so good to see you two again. I was so worried that you guys would be, I don't know. Well, you're fine, and that's the important thing. Nice to meet you. And you are?" And she sort of goes down the line. Introduces to Asmin and Loven, who just shakes hand and waves, and Asmin's like, "His name's Loven. He's real nice." And then moves on to Thyra. It's like, "Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you, Thyra. Firm handshake.
I'm Est, and you are?"
Shake her hand and say, "Name's Isabel," and I'll give her a wink.
Izzy has no standard.
Nice to meet you. Great. Well, what are you guys doing back in town?
Oh, we're just
Just
passing through.
Oh, that's good. Did you did you get your problem fixed, Wade? I know you said you were coming out of town to go get your problem fixed. I don't remember what it was though.
Oh yeah. Not yet, but we're working on it. Actually, Asmin here. She's from the Arcane Echelon.
Yeah, he watches the head. You're from the Archivist Echelon? And I was just like,
Archivist.
"Yeah, I am. I work there." She runs over and starts like just immediately jabbering about it. She's like, "I always want to work there like my whole life. I'm studying to take the entrance exam right now. I took it I don't know, maybe three or so months ago, and I think I did well, but I'm waiting to hear back on my results." And she's like, "Oh well, that's good. That's real nice. You're shaking my hand too long." "Oh, sorry." And they're just like going back and forth about a number of things. Asmin's a little bit weirded
I
out.
interrupt really quickly. Hey, Ist, where's your sister Fet?
Oh yeah, she's working out with a blacksmith for the day, just trying to get a little bit more money. She's trying to stock up on the bar just in case I have to go, and get to work.
Okay.
She'll be back later though if you want to
Yeah,
go. And
we'll
talk
definitely have to say hi to her.
Sure, yeah, sure. Great. Yeah, if I tell you what, rounds on me. What are y'all drinking?
Do you have any pineapple juice?
No, I can probably find some liquor.
Liquor sounds nice.
Sure, I'll just get 5 of the
is-
regular.
What does your sister do exactly at the blacksmith?
Oh, she's just there for an odd job right now. She's just, helping out in whatever way she can. She's been working all sorts recently, but as far as I'm aware today, she's just, helping with steel.
Like forming it? Moving it from one shelf to the other?
Probably something along the lines of shaping it, sanding it down, sharpening stuff.
Virus
That
interest
sort
to
of thing.
speak?
Oh, I see. Okay. You haven't had any more of them elemental flying thing problems, have you?
Oh, starts turning around and giving you guys all drinks. No, we have a little bit now and then. Occasionally, but I've been working real hard, and I've kind of been helping out. We're not suffering so bad anymore with them. Thanks to you all.
You learned some tricks?
Yes, I did.
I do it as well.
That's really cool. So, where's your friend?
Wait, is there any dirt around?
Not that you can see in the bar. If you wanted to walk outside, you could probably get some.
No, I wanted to use mold earth and get all of the dirt on the floor into one pile.
No, I mean, they keep it fairly clean. There's just stains around and a ever so slight smell of constant, very strong ale and a little bit of vomit. But, yeah, there's no, dirt or anything around.
Smells like a bar.
Look at that.
Oh, you mean Elicane.
Elicane, that's right.
Yeah.
Where's he at?
The Lakin actually, there's a whole thing about it.
He'll be back eventually.
No, it's off
Okay,
somewhere.
that's good. So he's still around too. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Great, yeah. So, yeah. What's new with you guys? Well, you're passing through to where?
Going down back down to Keijo, my home.
Okay, I thought you were going away from there.
Well, yeah, we were stopping at the Echelon, but, along the way we got captured. It was a long journey, but we made it there, and now we're heading back home to Keijo.
Great. Are you excited?
Absolutely. Can't wait to have some more gator stew. Been a long
Sounds
time.
good.
Is he lying?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to roll an insight check?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck, where's insight? Alright. Rainbow.
Are we the only ones in the bar right now?
There's one other guy
21.
who's just off.
You can tell it's like a grab bag. It's like mixed feelings. Excited to go home, but
Okay.
also fearful.
Okay.
Well, what's the half-orc's name again? One in the bar right now?
Ist.
Yes. So as Ist is walking around and talking, Isabel will attempt to grab her attention for a moment. Saying,
Okay.
Says, so you're trying to learn magic, eh?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've already started a little bit. I'm getting there. So,
What can you do?
well, I mean, I'm sure you saw my little thing there.
Right.
I can also do this, and she watches she. So puts her hand in something imaginary, and just before letting it go, and a small greenish purple hand just and goes in front of you, and then starts walking down the bar and doing a little dance.
It's fascinating. That's interesting. And Isabel's going to unfold her wings and let them stretch out, and fold them back.
That's really impressive. Do you work for the Echelon too?
I do not know. More of a freelancer, I guess, would be the word.
Okay, sure.
Right.
That's
Just
still really impressive though.
picked up a few
That's
things along the way. You know how it is. Live long
yeah.
enough to learn a few things.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if I end up going to the Echelon, I'll learn a bunch of things too. Hey,
Sure.
and she turns to Asmund again, and she's like, what's it like working there? And Asmund's like, oh, I mean, it's nice. Loven works here too. And she turns to Loven, you work there too? And now she's just engrossed in these two again. She seems to be very easily distracted by the
I go,
prospect of the
Payback,
Echelon.
bitch. Under my breath.
And yeah, they talk until someone interrupts them, or if not, then they keep talking.
I'm gonna give my drink to Free.
Free, who's already downed hers, is very willingly going to accept the second one.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, so while you guys are in the bar, what would you all like to do?
I'm gonna keep an eye on that guy.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
The natural 17, so it's gonna be a lot. 24.
Sure. He appears to be half elven, with almost like Prince Charming hair, you know, where it comes down and then just off to the side, just sort of sits there, kind of poofy, which is also blonde. He is just, you know, eating his meal nice and quiet, like, seems about nearly done. Got a small drink next to him. Doesn't appear to be particularly imposing from what you.
Hey, Is, what's with the guy all by himself?
Oh, he comes in every now and then. Just likes to get his lunch. You know,
What time of day is it?
It's probably like 1:30, 2 o'clock. It's around the right time.
After finishing her second drink, Bree will ask if they have rooms.
Yeah, we got some rooms for tonight if you all want to stay in them. How many are we talking about though? We don't have that many. I think we have 6 in total. So, if your friend comes back, then you probably have to bunk up. We've already got 2 rooms booked.
It's fine. Me and Elikane are pretty used to bunking up.
And
Okay.
the girls are usually bunk up too. Maybe we can split up with Osmond, unless Osmond, you want to stay in a room with your assistant.
Yoshi turns to Loven, and Loven's like,
Uh,
I don't think he minds.
you can stay with us, Asmund.
What with the girls?
If you
This.
I mean, how many rooms do y'all want to get?
You get 2, and then just get it out from there.
You see as pipes in. I mean, our rooms ain't real big, and we only have 1 bed in every one. So let me see here. 1, 2, 3. 4,
I don't usually sleep in a bed, so
I'm gonna point at Thyra and be like, I shared a bedroll underneath the desk with that one.
So I would say you can have a max of 4 beds split between the 7 of you. Probably only have room for maybe 1 other person per room.
Also,
So
apparently he
it's
doesn't
up to
sleep,
y'all.
so that is that.
Okay, well, I mean,
Like he
That's
just
fine,
sort of
so 4
sits
between
there
6.
and like stares into the mid-distance, and then he's awake. It's very creepy. I think he can hear us.
so you'd need 3 rooms. I'll deal with the price myself for your past help me. the 3 rooms isn't bad. You watch his Aspen's like, okay, sure. So 3 rooms for 2 people each. I'll go with whoever. I mean, Logan or one of the girls, or Wade if you want to go with me. That's
Yeah,
fine.
you stay with me and your brother.
Sure, that works.
Kind of sounds like it'd be like old times for you.
Right?
Ah, yeah. Well, we spent a lot of time on the floor back home. But
Right.
Kev's a kicker, so
Well, that's
I
probably
don't
why
wanna
you end
say
up on the floor.
yeah.
Did I steal one of those keys? I would like to take a rest.
Sure, yeah, you can have him. Let me see. You watch she reaches under the bed or under the bar and starts sort of like rifling around, like one hand on top of the bar, just sort of like gently, like slightly moving as she moves around. She pulls out 3 keys and just sits them down on the bar. Okay, so y'all are welcome for as long as you need. And
All
yeah,
right, thank you very much.
no problem. I'll let you know when Fett gets back if you want.
All right. If anyone
Sure
else
thing.
wants to rest, they are welcome to join. And Free's just gonna go find the room with the key that she picked up.
Sure, it is a familiar trek to you. Off to the side of the bar, open the door, up the stairs, and there are just rooms.
Isabel is going to leave and fly around the city and try to find the lake inn. Try to see where you went.
Okay,
Just so she knows.
sure.
Just in
So
case.
with the time that it took you guys in the bar, make a perception check.
I'm great at. As someone who just learned my passive perception, you know I'm awesome at those.
True.
What's my perception? +1, everybody. That's a 12.
A 12. I mean, it's not very high DC because you knew where you were going. I'll say it takes you a bit of time. How many uses of fly do you have?
I have 2, and they both last 10 minutes.
Okay, it'll take you both the uses of fly.
That's fine.
If you want to stay up in the air. But eventually, you do find him as he comes out of the spire. He wasn't there too long because it's just prayer, so that's not. It doesn't take an hour to pray. So yeah. Well, normally I go in hours.
I'm joking.
and
I'm joking with you. Joking.
Yeah.
Don't know what I'm-
So yeah, I'll say you can catch him coming out.
Alright. I'll see him land next to him. Probably perch on something because she very much enjoys being in the air. Goes, oi, howdy there, elf.
So,
Just checking on you and make sure you're not dead somewhere in a ditch because you pissed off someone because they wanted you to kill someone. You said no.
not yet. Day's still
Alright.
young, though.
Do that. So where have you been? Where's what you been doing?
In there.
You did?
Pointing back behind me.
You worshipped
Sure.
right? To each their own, I guess. We're at the not a pub somewhere. There are some half-orc, and I think
I know the place. Kind of been here before. So,
oh right, this is where you were kidnapped and turned to slaves.
yeah. Great time. Great memories.
Yeah, it's great. Well, I can't fly anymore, so I guess I have to walk with you.
Alright.
So go
Want to try
for
and
a walk.
cause some mischief on our way back?
Absolutely. What you want to do?
I don't know. Just in the mood for some. Any
Fine.
ideas?
If I distract some people, I'm sure you can grab a few things from the pockets.
No, I told Thyra I wouldn't do that.
Hey, well, no, Tara's not here, is she?
It still wouldn't feel right.
Are you guys starting to walk at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, as you start walking, Izzy, you see to the right of you there is also the large courtyard with the number of sort of stone murals in them.
Do
And
I see?
as you look around for people to potentially cause havoc on, I mean there are people around. With your 2 flies, it's about 2:15. So everyone's out.
Do I see anything in the mural that are interesting? When I walk past.
Make a perception check.
That's a 10. These dice aren't great, Dyto. I love them, but they're not great.
Nothing really stands out to you. I mean, you see murals, you see people that are there, offering gifts to the murals. That's about it.
Do I recognize any of the things? Are there any people in the murals? Like, are they depictions of gods or?
Each one is an icon. There is one that you recognize, sort of towards the back, that is just like a gentle, like stone plinth, like almost like a trapezoid, and on top of it rests an upside down hammer, and the thick of the hammer is in the shape of an anvil. So it's almost like an anvil with a stick coming out of it, but it could be used as a hammer.
What is that from again? I vaguely recall it.
It reminds you of the Temple of the Soul Forger back in Unroot.
Yes. All right. As I pass by that one, I'll acknowledge it. She doesn't worship the god, but she grew up under his shadow, as it were. So.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it. There is like one dwarf, like a young guy, maybe in his teens. He's just sort of sitting there cross-legged, just sort of like gentle. Just in front of it.
So, havoc to cause. Well,
do I see?
Go on.
Do I see a group of people, like a sizable group of people bundled somewhere close to us?
Sure, I'll say you see a group of people, not too far off, just starting to walk along the road in your peripheral.
I want to use thaumaturgy to kind of shake the ground beneath their feet a little bit, if I can.
Okay. Right. So you're trying to shock them?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Why don't you make a performance check for me?
Okay, I can do that. Performance, that is a 21.
Sure, yeah. As you look closer, it is like a group of younger girls, maybe like late teens, early 20s, who are just all like in a group, walking together, like laughing to each other, holding, fancy-ish clothes and purses and things like that. And as they're just walking and laughing, the ground just gently starts to shake underneath of them. Because of your performance check, I'll say, yeah, they start freaking out. You just see them go, ah, and just scatter completely. One of them like starts to run and trips, and the other one runs up. Oh my god, are you okay? So it's pulling them along.
Oh,
It's crazy.
Oh, I'm so glad I did that.
Are they still like sort of around-ish, or have they like run off, or is there like
They're
one
like
or two-
scattered. Oh, it's Thaumaturgy is not a great radius, so they scattered and now starting to come back together. You hear one was like, "You guys, Jess grazed her knee."
I am going to quickly dip between two buildings. Use disguise, use mask on my faces to turn into one of them.
Okay.
And then I want to walk up to them with like sort of a blank smile on my face.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. As you start walking up to them, they're all like, crowding around this one girl who's like gently starting to cry because she grazed her knee. Totally dramatic. It's like a tiny little graze, didn't even draw blood, and she's like, and yeah, as you start walking up to her, just like gently smiling, just walking, she's like, and you see the other one's like, oh my god, who are you?
As I get close, I will once again use Mask of Many Faces to have the jaw distend, and then use Toll the Dead, which Isabel is a scream. I'm not going to target any of them, obviously. I'm not going to hurt them, but it's loud and scary.
Okay, sure. Make a performance or make an intimidation check.
Yay! I'm
Okay, in addition to this, seeing Isabel do this, I want to again use thaumaturgy, and then have just like some ominous whispers kind of behind them.
Okay, you can have it with advantage.
Okay,
Oh my god!
guys, we don't have to set a record. Okay? Like,
We do. I want to get banned from I want to get run out from every town we've been in. Natural 20, by the way.
A natural 20?
Or 28.
Yeah. Alakian, you watch as Izzy just like, she walks up
Not gonna
with
end well.
pure, like, dramatic purpose. Like, her shoulders and her head just like, and don't even sway as she walks. And you watch as all the group of girls just sort of turn and look at her, and the jaw just... It's like this large blast of sonic energy just emanates into the air. You watch as the hair just gets blown back, and they all just turn and fucking run as far as they can. You also know, because your passive perception, you now see that you have caught the attention of two of the guards, who are just like looking over at this person whose jaw is on the floor, like the scream in the air. A group of people just run away from them, and they're like starting to draw swords and start walking up to Izzy.
I am going to run into an alleyway.
Okay, they're gonna follow you.
Alright, I want to get ahead of them, and if I can, I want to turn a corner and like into an alleyway, and then once again use Mask of Many Faces because I can do it as many times as I want, and look like a beggar, just look like a homeless dude that's just like there.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So you run into an alley. Also,
into an
you
alley.
have just enough time to take your one action, which is
turn a
Mask of
corner,
Many
and
Faces.
I want to fall. I want to fall like face down. As well.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you watch as they run in behind you. You're on the floor. They have their swords drawn, and they look around and see you there. Start pointing at you. You hear the one of them go, "What are you doing?"
I'll turn and go. He says, "What was that? It's just a person who came and knocked me down your that way." And I point the direction I was running.
Make a deception check.
Good at those. Let's make this plus 8 as well. That's 18.
Son of a bitch.
I'm
They rolled a 4.
This was built for.
They rolled a 4 and an 8. You're lucky. Yeah, you watch as they're like, "All right, thank you." I start running off to the direction that you're pointing.
All right, I'll let them get away so they're out of eye shot, and I'll turn back into Isabel, exit the alleyway, go back to the lake in.
Yeah, as you walk back, there is also a gentle chuckle from a familiar voice in the back of your head.
That makes
So
me
you walk back.
Yes.
I want to walk up to the lake and go. I don't think it's a good idea for us to hang out too much by ourselves. It's a lot of fun, but I think we might place down if we're alone for too long.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. We should probably get going.
I think they're a good influence on us.
This is the most chaotic group that I've ever been a part of. I think ever. So sure,
Oh,
you make your way
God.
back to the tavern then, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
Gently giggling.
Any of the girls we traumatized?
No, not on the way back. They have run very far.
Yeah, well, I wonder to see one of them like breaking down crying. Like, I want to know if there's any the consequences of this.
No, they appear to have fled like real bad.
All right.
But sure, yeah, you make your way back to the tavern. As you walk in, what are the rest of you doing?
How long did it take them to get over here?
So Izzy flew twice, and then I'll say 45 minutes.
From the incident that just occurred, though.
From the incident, maybe like 15.
Okay.
I'll get back. I look at I fenders out flying about. I point at the lake again. I gesture at the lake. The lake in. It's like you did it on purpose now.
Yeah,
You
no.
did it on purpose.
Yeah, but that was his name when we were in town. You know, don't want to confuse people. Nothing.
I'm gonna turn to a lake in. And like, is that true?
That's what he called me. It's not at all what I said my name was while we were here.
Or there we are.
That's what most of us called you there for a while.
Hey, well, I thought it was
This is true.
I thought it was his name because he didn't correct me for a while. It was his
What I thought too.
It's not my fault.
Entirely your fault. Aye.
Well, he did say he was gonna meet us here, so the fact that you found him on his way here.
I just wanted to make sure that he was. Tends to get in trouble if we leave him on his own.
He tends to get in trouble when he's not on his own as well.
Aye, but then we're there to stop it.
Hard to try.
Speaking of not being alone, any of you up for a little combat practice tonight at the Ravenspire?
Ooh, what kind?
Well,
Why?
they've got a pest problem. It doesn't pay, but it'd be some good practice if anybody wanted to join me.
Wait, more of those things we were talking about with the wings that flew around last time we were here?
I don't know. I don't think so. They said little animals. So,
What
I
kind of
don't feel
animal?
like that's probably what it is. They didn't say.
I mean, I'd like to, prove myself, see how far we've come. Last time we were here, didn't do so hot. I mean, not entirely my fault. But
I'll take all the help I can get.
Sure.
I mean, I can't really say that I feel comfortable sparring against an animal, but
Why not an animal? It might be like a creature, a monster or some kind. It looks like an animal.
Well, that's why I was hoping you could come along, Thyra. That way, if it's an animal that can be reasoned with, you can avoid the fighting.
Oh, that's true.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say that again. Did I hear you correctly?
You did?
You want to talk
don't-
before you fight?
He worships
Animals, yes, because I don't enjoy hurting innocent little creatures.
We have here among us a God-fearing man. So
God-fearing.
I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't go that far.
I would. So yeah, he's turning over a new leaf.
What color is it?
Green.
Black.
Oh,
What color was it before you turned it over?
Black.
I think it's the same leaf, just a new side.
it could be a different leaf. This is another black leaf. Are there trees with black leaves? There are in January. Those are because they're covered in soot. So
Have I ever seen a tree with black leaves?
You have not.
you know what? I bet that creepy pass that we almost went through would have had trees with black leaves.
Probably would.
I don't think trees are supposed to have black leaves. So I don't think it'd be good if it did.
Well, yeah,
Probably
that
a
place was supposed to be like really scary and stuff. So
Well, I am more than happy to help you with this, so long as you would pay the favor later on.
I'm down to pay favor with favor.
Alright.
Oh, so
Oh,
this
wait.
is a favor now?
I do need everyone's help eventually. Nothing that I need to do, but thought to not do it right now. Something that I want to get done later on, when it's more convenient for us.
Well, I mean, Free went up for a nap. Do you want me to go get her?
No. Also, did you know that she drinks a lot? Like, I drink, but I think she's not alright.
Well, I
Speaking
mean,
of
last
drinks,
time
I'm
she
gonna
was
look
here,
around.
she did get kidnapped and put into slavery.
In general, like she spent the other night back when we were in COVID, she spent like the last night there.
Well,
Drunk.
let's put it this way. When I get upset or mad like she does, I become uncontrollable.
Aye, but you don't. But that's that's an issue as well. But I think that this one is one that's easier to address than your rage issues.
Well, I think I would rather want to drink than have my rage issues.
Do you?
Everybody has their vice.
As in,
If that's how she deals with it, let her.
Have you ever drank? Have you drank anything? Any liquor or ale or something like that?
You want me to drink?
Have you ever?
No, I
Well,
haven't.
maybe I can't
But
do
it's
that.
not a good idea.
Look, I'm not exactly someone with good self control. I recognize that in myself, but I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I mean, my mom did say to me that, I mean, a little drink here and there every once in a while never hurt nobody.
Was it to numb the pain of your?
I think if I drink even just a little bit, it could hurt a lot of people.
Oh, please, we can just put you to sleep.
I just turned into a bear and I don't know how or why.
That's magic. It's hard to do magic when you're drunk. I should know.
That's your magic. My magic is a different kind of magic.
Alright, don't drink then.
I didn't plan on it.
Lakey, you said you wanted to look around.
I was looking for Ist specifically.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you see Ist. She's back behind the bar, engrossed in conversation with Asmin, and Loban is there as well. Not talking because Loban does. Yeah, they are just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. She's like leaning over the bar so hard, like to listen in. She's there. She hasn't even noticed you yet.
I want to use thaumaturgy again, and not the ominous whispers, but like just kind of whisper behind her head, just kind of whisper in her ear. It's like my voice, just highest.
Oh.
Okay.
That's a little creepy.
Yep. That's
A little
the
bit.
Yeah. You like cone your hand like this and just whisper the message, and she's a little bit away, and you watch her go, yeah, not now. So about the she's just still engrossed.
That's fine. That's what I was hoping was gonna happen.
I'm going to be taking a short rest as we hang out because I want my spells back.
Okay. So we'll say for the purposes of this, if everyone wants to take a short rest here, then they can. You'll get all your crap back.
That'll be what I do.
And then, yeah, you guys want to head out, or do you want to stay here?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tap Ist on the shoulder. About 30 minutes into the short rest. Can I get another drink?
Oh, sure, yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
She turns around and pours you another drink and hands it over.
I'll take it up to Free to wake her up. For now.
No, goodness.
Okay.
During
About
the rest,
what time would it be whenever the rest was over with, Equa?
You're pushing 3:30, 4 o'clock.
She said this evening. Faith said like this evening, didn't she?
She said come back whenever, basically.
Okay, cool.
During the short rest, I want to talk to Wade, specifically about flying, and ask him once again. Wade, do you want to fly? Like, honestly.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Like, do you want to be? Do you? Wait. Wait, I'm stronger than you.
He was just asked to kick his chair back.
Sorry, my headphones came unplugged during that. What?
It goes like, if you want to fly, like, you can do it. Like, I have the ability to make other people fly.
I know I can fly.
Are you able to use the spell as well?
Maybe.
Wait, you speak to me like a person, Wade.
Well, I want to surprise you guys, but I've been learning a bit about this, the modifications to my poncho, and let's just say there's a little something in there.
You can fly.
Maybe.
Okay, wait. I want to ask you again. I want a yes/no answer from you, my friend, who I trust. Can you fly? If you don't answer, I'll punch you in the face.
No.
I don't believe you. I want to get up and get a drink.
Okay, sure, yeah. You get a drink, easy enough to do.
Yeah, because I'm mad at him now. There's no drinks to hide our emotions.
Yeah, so Thara takes up the ale to Free to wake her up.
Is there a table? Like
Sure,
a
I'll
side
say
table?
It's a basic bed and a side table, and that's it pretty much. Each room has a window, but the curtains are drawn. Freeze.
Yeah, Free's not actually asleep.
Alright, then forget the table.
Yeah, no, she's just sitting in a corner, being her paranoid self right now, watching the window and the door.
Alright, so Free,
Because last time was not fun.
Are you rocking in the corner?
No, she's just sitting there, kind of like staring at the door until she hears it open, and then she's probably gonna jump up. You're like,
Just me. I hold the drink up as a peace offering.
all right, just start with me, and she will take it.
You okay?
How emotional is she right now? 2. Okay. I'm terrified. I don't want to be here.
Well, would it make you feel better if I stayed with you all the time? Just for a night?
Are you really sure you want to do that after our last conversation?
Why not? You're my friend.
Alright.
I mean, I'm probably the best person for someone to try and go to get through to get to you.
You've definitely got a lot of strength and magic in you.
Sometimes it's just hard determination. Alakian went to, I don't know, somewhere that has a pest problem.
Alright.
To check it out.
Not too familiar, but alright. Distraction.
I'll let you wear my cloak if you want to hide a little more. If you put the hood up, you'll have beer ears instead of horns.
They kind of protrude out kind of far. It's alright. I had to fix my own cloak to make it fit properly. yes. Alright. When is this?
I don't know. Take your time. I'll wait outside the door.
Alright.
I'll give her time to compose herself.
She will down that drink once she's gone, and then join her a couple minutes later.
Okay. How many drinks have you had now? Just 2 or 3?
3. And her con is not very good, I don't think.
What is your constitution?
Um,
You know what? Just roll me a check. Roll me a con check.
Okay. Let's go group here.
Bree is
Seems
slowly
appropriate.
killing herself.
I rolled a 17.
Deliver.
I don't think.
Okay.
Which,
You're okay. You're
I was like,
tipsy,
you
but
mean
you're
like-
not drunk yet.
This has probably been over the course of like 2 hours as well. So there's been a little bit of time.
the con mod is a +1.
She rolled well. That's all I'll say. But yeah, eventually you come out of the door, meet up with the rest of the group.
Okay.
Right? How close? Too close.
You're fine.
Say when, and I put my arm around her. Just like not like intimately, but like, hey, buddy. You know, like that, like loose, like limp spaghetti arm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The only kind of arm.
Nuggy, nuggy, nuggy.
As long as
Christian
you understand,
Science.
I'm not. Yeah. And then she'll just walk with her. That's the end of her sentence.
Sure. So, as
In her
you
head,
guys-
Thyra's thinking, I will break you down eventually.
you guys leave the ale's bottom. You leave Asmin and Loven talking to Ist, as she does.
You mean being interrogated by Ist, you mean?
As you look over, Asmin seems to be enjoying it.
Okay. This is
There is
backfiring.
now a communal sort of interest between the two of them. Asmin is like telling all these stories about how the echelon works, and Loven is like backing her up and nodding and, you know, smiling whenever is needed. And yeah, it's mostly just Asmin talking.
Hey,
Doesn't make
Asmin, we're gonna go do dangerous stuff now. See you later. As I'm walking
Okay,
out.
1 for Loven, 2 Wade. And you leave. Yeah, as you guys motion to leave out onto the street and start walking towards the Raven Spire, we're going to go take a break. So we'll be back here in 10-15 minutes. I know I got to pee real bad, so get some snacks. Get some other stuff. I don't know what you get. in breaks.
Liquids.
And we'll be back here soon.
Friends.
Stay hydrated.
Why not?
Be a real person. Yay!
Hello.
Yay! There's a dinosaur called Draco Rex Hogwartsia. That's all I want to say.
Dracosaurus Rex.
It's called the king. It's called the Dragon King of Hogwarts. I don't know. I guess scientists are nerds.
I mean, that's kind
Yes?
of their job description,
Who would have thunk it, right?
What
As
is
everyone
it?
I mean,
So-
the scientist, obviously.
right?
Yeah. True. That's their job. They're thunkers.
Before we begin the second session, or the second half of tonight's session, Chem's not feeling well, so Chem had to step out very quickly just for the second half. But you know, shout outs to Chem for making it through this far.
Yeah.
Not feeling well.
Bingo.
Very good.
Heart
So,
and love.
as you guys begin setting off to the spire, you see Free take 2 steps out of the bar before turning a nice shade of green instead of her usual pink. Sorry, you notice as you are standing next to her with your arm hugging around her, and you watch as she excuses herself and just down into an alley, and you hear.
Oh. Alright, I don't think Free's allowed to drink anymore.
Maybe just not that much excess.
Not at all. I don't think she can handle it. No offense to her.
That could also be a possible statement. But I feel like we shouldn't just leave her there.
Should be
Probably
fine.
should take her back upstairs.
Wait, we can just leave her with Asmin and that whoever the hell her assistant is. I hate that guy. What-
Pavlov?
Or
Question: has he ever spoken?
Yeah, he talks all the time.
I didn't speak.
He talks too much, if you ask me. Anyways, yeah, we can just leave her with them.
yeah,
She'll be safe.
Alright.
I agree.
What do you think, guys? Men can you look after Free while she purges?
I mean, I think Asmin and Pavlov is as good as anybody that can take care of her.
Alright.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get her back inside, and then we can head out.
Or you keep an eye on that Loven guy. Weird feelers.
Don't worry about that. Just rest up.
Yeah, you take her into the bar, back upstairs, and I guess tuck her in. And she, I will say thanks to you all. I don't know. I don't have a free voice. I guess it's just like an American that's kind of higher pitched. I don't know. I'll come up with one in the meantime. But yeah,
Thanks,
you take her
darling.
back up to bed, and she
Pretty good at it.
I hate you.
sleeps down for the rest of the night. So the rest of you start heading towards the spire. Alakian is fairly familiar with the journey now, and Izzy and Wade, you have a fairly decent idea. So yeah, you emerge onto the outskirts of the central courtyard here outside of the spire, with the many different shrines that are there. And beyond it is the cathedral itself. So you can go to if you choose to.
Y'all
Yeah, I'm going in.
go in the front door.
Great.
I'm like,
As you
what kind of name is Loven? It's like, it sounds suspiciously like Lovin. I don't like that. Who names their kid
Wait.
Lovin?
Are
Wait,
you
you-
jealous?
Oh,
Oh,
Insight check. Just for the hell of it.
now you're making me look up stats. Okay. 15.
17.
oh,
A mixture of jealousy and protection.
Okay, I can respect that.
I didn't catch any of that. I rolled a 5.
So did I. I rolled a 5, which would make it a 9.
I rolled a 5,
9.
6. So,
okay.
like he's obviously she obviously trusts him, so I think she'll be fine. And also, just magic. Like she can hold her own. She'll be alright.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it
nah.
this way, Wade. She did, blow up the room he was in.
I'll
Right.
be right back.
Honestly,
Alright.
he's probably scared of her because like she just like blows things up for her job. Like that's just not something talk to someone who just does that for a living.
I feel like that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, no,
Alright.
she's really strong. I don't think, I look at that living guy, he's probably, if I was to give a score of 1 to 20 for strength, I would say he was probably like a 2. So,
Do you want me to shake him when we get back?
Right?
Asmin could definitely take him.
We could figure out how strong he is, like easily.
Just
What are
arm
your
wrestle.
intentions with Asmin?
I more meant like grab him and see if we can get out of it.
I feel like that's
What
unfair.
did I miss exactly?
We're talking about testing Loven's strength.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking shit about Loven.
Okay. I heard grabbing Asmin, and I was like,
Grabbing the low.
No. We're grabbing him as in Loven.
Yeah.
and shaking him. Thyra literally wants to shake him
Why do you want to shake him?
because that's her strength. She can actually shake him.
This is true.
Fair enough.
This is the place, right?
Okay, roll
It
it.
is.
Redemption,
Right.
arc,
Head
baby.
inside and see if Gavar is sitting at the thing still.
Let's increase our standing in the eyes of the Lord, right?
It's not a lord. She's a lady.
I have no idea who the gods are. I know like one god who's the dwarf god. The rest of them.
Just telling you.
Is this who your book cult worships?
My book cult doesn't worship anyone, Wade.
Are you sure?
They probably have their own individual people, but as a whole, I haven't been told anything.
I got it. Inside information.
As you walk in, Gavar is indeed sitting behind the tall, like oaken desk here. And as he watches you come in, he jumps back down and walks up to you guys and says, "Oh, you back already? Cool, yeah. Right, if you want to follow me, I'll show you to Faith and we'll get going."
Alright.
And he takes you back into the big open main chamber. For the rest of you, it's a sight. This thing is tall, open, with just a couple patrons in here, no more than maybe 6 different people in here. But the big statue of the Raven Queen at the back wall is intimidating to an extent. It's definitely a looming presence there. Gavar takes you over to the side where the tiefling woman still sits. She doesn't appear to have moved much in the time that you were gone.
Okay.
And you watch as he says a couple words and she nods and starts slowly getting back up.
Wade would have taken his hat off as he entered.
Okay. Good to know.
I'll help Faith get up this time.
Sure, you do so. She takes your hand and accepts it. As you pull her back up, she says, "Right, hello everyone. It's nice to see you. My name is Faith." Holds out her hand to all of you.
Nice to meet you, Faith.
Hello.
I trusted you are here to help Alakian and us with our little pest control problem.
What kind of pest?
Aye, it's probably.
They are small creatures, not very difficult to deal with. I'm sure you will have no trouble at all. You look like strapping young adventurers.
Are these pests just annoying or aggressive or?
You could say that. Please follow me.
And she
Are
starts
they one or the other?
gently walking down one of the down the side of the hall down to one of the doors.
That is
She
crazy.
pulls out a thick ring of keys and starts
I don't like this.
trying a couple.
I mean,
I don't
her
either.
name's Faith, and she works at a church. I mean, what are the odds of that?
You go
It's like
"Can I
she was
insight
destined
check?"
for this job.
Yeah, I want to insight check her as
Yeah.
well.
Now that we're here and
insight
she
check?
seems
What
to
do
be
you-
dodging questions.
What are you insight checking for?
Because I asked her a one or the other question and she just said yes and walked away.
Okay. So what are you insight checking for?
If she knows more than what she's telling us about
Yeah,
these pests that I was asking
Okay.
about.
Sure, I'll let it slide. Roll insight.
$12.
Inside, that is a 15 for me.
She's old. She's an old woman. You know?
Feeble-minded.
Hard to tell. She's just kind of like drifty, you know?
God damn it.
Yeah, as you are having this conversation, she just is still unlocking the door. You see now she's unlocked it. It goes. She says,
Well, my child, as tieflings,
I have a custom of choosing names based on features we like to embody. For me, my faith is a big part of me. Starts walking down a staircase that is sort of spiraling down into the lower floors.
Thanks, she could hear. Yes.
As we walk down, I'll put my hand on his shoulder and be like, "So why do you think Free called herself Free?"
Oh, I knew why Free called herself Free. I was making a joke.
I'm sorry. What's it?
Or maybe it was a clue of what we're about to walk into.
I apologize.
I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah, I'd say I'm
What
I was
do I
already
see?
following her.
I'm very cautious, but I'm gonna go in first.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for, I guess, traps, but more just suspicious shit on our way down, I guess.
Okay, sure. Make a perception check.
Me too, since I'm also looking.
You can do if you'd like.
Perception, that is a 17.
19.
Does not appear to be trapped.
Okay.
Do I see any shadows moving?
From the staircase, you do not. So, she leads you all down the long spiral staircase into a room which you perceive to be the basement. As there.
Music got intense.
Right.
So,
We're in a church.
I don't have a token for her, so I'm going to
Like,
use Free.
Hell.
So, Free is now this woman. They're tieflings. It's fine. She leads you down, and you see now a long hallway that separates off into 3 rooms on either side. The front ones seem to have windows. The middle ones have windows, and the back ones do not. As you get down, she hands you the ring of keys, Alakian, and says,
Okay.
Right, so all of the doors are locked for safety purposes. I will walk with you. I don't believe that it will be too challenging for any of you to deal with these things. But please go at your leisure, and I will answer any questions that you have to ask.
What's behind the doors?
Each one is a room. They are basic accommodations for people. Often we have drifters that need a night to stay.
So we're killing drifters?
No,
Those are the pests we're clearing out?
well, in a sense.
We're fighting ghosts, I can tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking ghosts or like demons.
Alright, I have one more
God.
question
This-
for you.
to this
Which
door
do you
right
think
there.
would be better? I hold up my axe, and I hold up my half-broke stick.
Well, I'm not an expert, but I would wager that the one with the, the big one is probably better. The one that can actually hit things without breaking.
What are you
Lefty or
fighting?
righty?
Also
I
left or
cannot
right?
say.
What's in the rooms? I'm getting
Just
a
basic
little freaked out
accommodation.
here. No,
I'm
what's
gonna
in them?
go. I'm gonna go listen in on the door that's closest to where I'm at.
I thought the vermin.
We're gonna go bottom or top.
Yes.
Bottom, I guess.
Okay, sure. So you come up right here by the door. Put your ear to it. Make a perception check.
Perception 19.
Yeah, as you listen in, nothing seems to be coming from this room.
I'm gonna turn to look at Faith. Is there anything in this room?
Well, I don't know. Please, you have the keys.
I'm gonna look at the lake again. Just stare at him.
Place is kind of
Like-
creepy.
I'm currently staring at Faith as I'm unlocking the door.
At as he does that, I would like to cast both. Oh god, what is it? Both. That's what they called. The armor and the weapon thing. So I have both those.
Sure. So the armor comes out, jagged bones emerge, and your hand becomes a blade.
And I'd like to hold Sacred Flame as I'm going in.
Sure.
As I
So you
open the
hold
door.
Sacred Flame. As you open the door, you walk in to the room.
I didn't want to walk in. I just wanted to look.
I mean, it's hard to tell from where you are to look into the room. To get a full vantage point, you'd have to walk in.
Can I just can I not? Well, what do I see as I open the door?
You see a basic bed and a table, and not much else.
Do I tell that? Can I tell that Alakian is hesitating?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's obvious.
I'm gonna be behind the lady. Oh,
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. Would you like me to go in first?
Go for it.
I will enter the room
I will
and
follow.
take a look around.
Okay. So, make an investigation check.
Can I make it as well?
Yeah.
Check.
Let me just double check what my investigation is.
Here, +2. Oh, it's a natural 1.
Oh no!
12.
These dice have not been kind to me, Dyto.
Wade, what are you doing?
What's the scariest thing you've ever seen in here?
God damn it!
Well, there was once a little girl who was not in a good state when they brought her in. She seemed to be possessed by something. That was pretty scary.
Possessed by what? Exactly?
You're in the room. You don't hear it.
I feel like I heard that story before.
I hear it.
As
I'm
you look
right next to
around-
her.
Thyra, you look under the bed, under the table, pull out the drawers, lift up the covers. Nothing's in this room.
I'm gonna actually physically walk the perimeter of the room, just to make sure there's nothing in the corner.
Absolutely. You do so.
Go for it.
There's nothing here.
Right, I didn't see anything in this one.
Okay. Top one. That the next plan.
Yup.
Alright.
Walk across the hall, and I'll do the same thing on this one.
Okay. So, you're doing a perception check?
Yes.
So what exactly is down here? What are the things we're fighting?
That's an 11.
Yeah, you don't hear anything from inside the room. She turns to you with you. She says,
They are little pests from a previous inhabitant.
What does that mean? What are they? Are they in this room? Or are they one of the rooms down the hallway?
Oh, I don't know.
What
They pop up where they
inhabitant?
Why are you here?
It was a previous case. Actually, it was the same one that I was talking to this gentleman about just now.
What
Little
type-
guys, I think she's losing it. I've heard that story before.
Shut up. What case?
You know what?
And,
Just to speed this along, Equa, I want to cast Detect Evil and Good, please.
Ooh. I always found evil and good to be clunky. I like good.
let me pull up this spell real quick.
What? Can I ask what case she's talking about? As,
Talking to me?
I'm talking
him.
to Equa.
No, I'd asked already. I was just waiting for the answer.
But Wade will fill in just because Equa's busy. She said there
Okay.
was a little girl who was brought in here she was like possessed by something, and that's actually all the story she told. I don't know what happened.
Possessed by what? What did she get possessed by? That'd be important to know. All right.
Yeah,
Little
I
girl?
was gonna ask that.
Are we looking for a little girl?
Right.
No,
We're looking for
no.
the possessed her.
Not at all, no.
That's
What
good,
happened?
because
So
I'm
you're
afraid of
protect
creepy
evil
little
and good.
girls.
Yeah, we all are. What happened to her? And what happened to the thing inside that possessed her?
It was resolved. Not
Oh.
well, but it was resolved.
Is she alive? Is she dead? Are we fighting her ghost? Are we fighting her reanimated corpse? Like, what's going on?
As far as I am aware, she is alive. Yeah. I have not seen her in, I don't know, 30 years.
All right. So, what was she possessed by?
Alakian,
Mm-hmm.
you cast Detect Evil and Good. Which is within 30 feet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as you take a minute and clutch the feather and think, and your hand almost begins moving by itself, just tracing things around in the air. And as you open your eyes, everything seems to be a shade of black and white. You know, your friends and Faith are all fairly grey. As you look towards the room that your hand is on the doorknob of, there is a speck of white emanating from within the room. You get the sense there's something in there.
Order. Isabel's evil, technically.
It's not like that. It's
That's not how that works.
Oh,
you can
okay.
detect aberration, celestial, elemental, faith, fiend, or undead, which is a lot of fucking monster groups.
I have a question.
Anything
Does
but
anything
humanoid.
pop off on Wade? The
Anything pop
Lakian
off?
sees?
Nothing on Isabel either. No aberrations or anything like that.
Hold the phone. That brings up a
This
good
is
point,
actually
actually.
a good point.
Loop.
Yeah,
That
loop
is
the
a
music.
really
Well,
good point.
now what about Thyra?
Oh, the music go off?
Yeah,
Hold
you gotta
on.
hit the loop. There you go.
There's nothing on Thyra. I'll say that.
Just trying to figure
Yeah.
out if Kev's like a little demon in my brain.
Izzy's head is also emanating a speck of light.
Speck of white.
Like the brain stem. Yeah.
Something is triggering in Izzy as well.
Doesn't say whether I can tell what it is.
No, it does not.
Aha. So we know it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Cool.
I'm gonna turn back to everybody and just be like, pretty sure there's something in this room.
Alright, we'll get back to that. What possessed this girl? Where is she? What is her name?
Alright, all
Did
that.
she die?
She's not
Oh wait,
dead.
no, you said she's alive.
She is alive. I don't think I should reveal the name of the individual. If she wants to be left alone, that would be understandable.
Did your goddess, is she the one who healed her?
We healed her. There's only so much that the matron decides to do. She has a lot of responsibility when she entrusts most of her other operations to her servants, us.
And then God, So, what possessed her? What was inside her?
You know, I don't really know. I am under the assumption it was a demon.
Oh, fun! That's all right. All right. So this door here has something evil behind it. You said that, Elakian?
Something evil or celestial or undead.
Or all right,
Or a demon?
or a demon.
Yep.
Or a remnant of a demon?
I mean, I feel like that falls out of the realm of evil, but yes.
Right? Should we kick in the door?
Yeah, let's do it.
What are we doing?
Well, the door's already unlocked, so
Alright, let's open it nicely then.
I'm going to hold Sacred Flame.
Should we try
And
the
then-
polite approach?
I am
Do you
going
want
to
me to knock?
with my arm blade.
Like, hey, ghost girl, can you please, like, move on?
She's not a ghost. It's not the girl. She's fine.
Right.
I'm gonna hold Sacred Flame, and if it, like, whenever I open the door, if it makes an aggressive move, I want to use it.
Same thing
Okay.
here with my attack.
So you are opening the door and you are just standing where you are.
Yes.
I will
Right.
move in. I think Thyra's coming with, probably.
Yeah, I'd go with.
Sure. So, as Elakian opens the door, you see, much like the first room, there is a bed. But there is no table in this room.
Oh.
It is just the bed, and on the bed are heavy stains of what appear to be blood. Also attached to the bed are 4 individual cuffs, like sets of manacles, one for each appendage, that are just loosely dangling there. There is also a large blood splatter on the floor, so Thyra and Izzy move in.
Yeah, I'll go in first.
You can move how you want. So the two of you, as you move in, see, crouched on the floor, appearing to lick what is an old, dirty, dried stain of blood.
Oh.
There is a small creature, a massive, like, blackish blue arms and legs. The body is almost circular with these arms coming off, but there is a rift straight down the middle where you see jagged teeth coming through that is currently open with a massive long tongue just licking the bottom of the floor. And
fuck's
2
sake.
large red eyes on top.
Do I recognize
Oh.
whatever this thing is?
Same.
Yeah,
Well-
this thing.
Actions go off, so Elakian, release your thing. Everyone else, what are your actions?
Well, I was holding it, like, if
It acts aggressively.
if it acted aggressively, if it's not acting aggressively, I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah.
Did you
I mean,
say
as
it
you
was
as
coughing at
you as you walk in, it turns to you and you see it go and start walking towards you all. No,
I'm
it's
gonna
not.
hold my attack until it attacks. I want to.
I'd say that's what I was doing as well.
Okay.
I know.
So it's going to walk up to you, Thyra. You're the closest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to bite you.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool, and then that's when my stuff goes on.
Yeah, that triggers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch as it sort of like walks up to you, Thyra, just
The teeth and the tongue that Isabel like
bites
stick
you
a
on the leg.
Is this
You-
one of them?
Nope, it's an ankle
Okay, that's
biter.
an 18 to hit.
Yep.
Ooh,
some sharp teeth.
You take 12 points of piercing damage. As the like whole body opens up and just clamps onto your mouth or onto your leg, and you feel blood start to perforate from the teeth wounds. Everyone else action, go.
cool.
Sacred
like,
Flame, I guess I'll probably go first, since I've got the lower dex.
Go for it.
higher attack.
Higher dex, my bad. So it's a dex save of 13. Equa.
I'll roll my attack.
Yeah, fails. Roll 6.
Okay.
Just
2d8. Is 13 points of radiant damage.
Okay, yeah. It takes a hit. You watch as you. The flame starts to burn all over it, and it starts to like writhe back from it. That's your action, Izzy.
it's a 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Oh, thank goodness. I didn't roll very good. So that is now 3d8 necrotic damage instead of 2d8 because my level went up. I have better spells.
Yes.
That is 13 damage.
13 damage.
Yeah. Can I make
Yeah,
an
as you pull the
attack
blade forth.
punch it with my brass knuckles?
It's an unarmed strike.
It's a weapon. It's a reskin dagger. That's how I use it.
It's a reskin dagger. Okay, yeah, sure, you can make another attack.
Cool. Aha! That's higher. That's a 12 plus all my shit. So that's a 12 plus 8.
To hit?
16 plus whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, that hits.
And then that is 5 bludgeoning damage as I punch it in one of its weird eyes.
Yeah, you reach back with the long, like, scythed arm and just. You watch as, like, the eye is, like, bloody and bruised and now swelling shut. There's a massive, like, tear across this thing's body. It's on death's door. Are you
Anticlimactic.
doing anything?
Again, talking to me?
You and Thera both.
Oh,
Okay, I said I was doing anything.
I wasn't holding an attack or anything.
yeah, me either.
I mean, you would know. It's a clean round because he went first, so you can just pop him if you want.
Oh, then yeah, I'll pop him. I'll pop him with my axe. 16 plus 6 was a 22.
2.
That hits.
That's only 8 damage.
How do you want to kill this thing?
Ow, that hurt! And I just kind of like, I don't even like use the blade end of my axe. I just kind of like swat at it with like the flat side of my axe against the wall.
Okay.
Goal
Great,
swing.
yeah. You turn and just pull your axe, just, and as it comes down, you see it just like the eyes pop, and it gently starts to slide down the edge of the wall, still clinging to your foot, and you have to like shake your leg to get it off.
I would like to grab the body, lift it up, and smell it. Does it smell like something I've encountered before as a creature that would probably know the scent of blood? Does it smell like normal? Or does it smell weird?
Curiously enough, this thing does not smell like blood. It smells like... It almost smells like decay or like mold.
Does Chaos have any recognition of a creature like this?
Yeah, you ask Chaos if it has any recognition.
Essentially is what I'm asking.
Yeah, the answer comes back. No.
Alright, this thing's just creepy. I'm gonna throw it.
Wade's
Yeah,
like
you throw it.
trying to look around the lake in, but he's blocking the door. Everybody's in the way. What is it? What is it? I want to see.
As he
Do
says
I know
that,
what Do I know what this thing is?
Make a history check.
I was gonna ask the same thing, but I don't know if I have the reasoning behind that or not.
19.
You got no idea. You've never dealt with anything like this before.
Hearing that Wade wants to see it, Isabel's going to walk over to it, grab it, and then walk back, and as she leaves the room, be like, "Here you are," and put it in his arms.
Ugh.
As Wade asked that question, I want to walk down the hall and look in the other doors and see if I can see like a light thing in there as well.
Okay, so you can look through these two middle rooms, if you like, but there is no holes in the doors or anything like that. It's a solid piece of wood.
It's fine, but it's not 3 feet of wood, is it? It's not a 3-foot thick door,
No,
is it?
no,
Yeah,
they're
so
not
the
like
spell should-
crazy thick doors.
Yeah, the spell should still go
Oh, you're
through
talking about the
at least
spell?
then.
Okay, sure, yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
spell.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, easy enough to do. As you walk around, you get the sense that from this room up here, there is nothing. From this room down here, there is nothing. From this room down here, there is 1. And this room down here, there are 2.
Okay.
Can I look at the blood from the thing we just killed and see if it looks the same, fairly similar to the blood that's already on the ground.
Like, is it the same color?
Yeah,
it's
like,
it's the same color.
can I find out how fresh the blood on the ground is?
It's dried.
Make a medicine check, just for the sake of it.
17.
You get the sense it's old. You aren't sure how old, but it's definitely been here for a while.
I'm gonna walk out the door and go to wait. I think that little girl was killed in that room.
She's alive. She says she's alive.
that's
You're
what
not in the
woman
room?
Says.
That's true.
Oh,
I left
sorry.
and went to wait.
Yeah. Lycan kind of has this thing with getting into weird murder cults and stuff, so. I mean, not judging, but kind of judging. Same.
I'm gonna talk to the woman. What's her name again?
Faith.
Her name is Faith.
Faith. Right, I knew that. Alright, so do you know what that is? You've seen it, or do you know something read it about in a book? Perhaps one of your holy books is...
I do not have a very good idea of what it is. It is my understanding that it's probably left, or I think they come through here in the basement because it is an area that was held a powerful demonic entity at one point.
That's cool.
As you can see, the girl was down here, although not in this room. The girl was down here at one point. So I think they come through off of the residual energy from that.
Alright. Well, if it helps, it smells like mold. Decay. It smells like blood or meat.
Equa, would I have been able to hear any of that?
I'll say you were out doing your walk,
Okay.
so probably not.
Okay.
Can we see if there's anything else?
When we look in this room, I want to see, like, stuff like, was there a pillow on the bed? How fresh did the sheets look? Like, are they old sheets? Are they
Okay.
fresh? Does it look like there was a struggle, like the sheets are all ripped up and stuff? Or are
Okay, sure. So make an investigation check.
I'm so good at these. That's a 12.
A 12. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You get the impression that, at least with the bed, as you pick up the bed, like as you pick up the sheet, it almost like sticks as cardboard. Whatever has been, or whatever was in here, this room has not been touched in like probably years.
Okay. Cool. That's good enough for me. I'll walk out the rest of the group.
So you all walk out. Alakian does his walk and comes back.
I'll relay the information that I saw.
Well, these things aren't exactly... These things aren't exactly tough, so it'd be pretty easy just to move in to one door at a time and just hit it till it
Did-
die.
Did the light emanating, did it seem about the same size as the one that was in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll take everybody to the rooms. I'll go to the bottom left one first, I guess.
Okay, so you head down to the bottom left room. There are no windows on this room, so you can't look in, but you can still hear in if you choose to.
Okay. I know what's in there now, so I'll just
Question.
I'll look.
Faith. Oh, if you're still talking. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go.
Faith, how long ago did this occur? How many years ago was this now?
It was about 25, 30 years ago. It was a long time.
Right? Like, possibly 23 years ago?
I think a little bit over.
Alright, just... No reason. Walk down the hallway.
Okay, sure. So you meet up with the Lakin down in the at the bottom left room.
I'll turn back to everybody after I unlock the door. Same thing as last time.
Right, guns blazing. Do guns exist in this world? I don't actually know.
You don't know.
Fair enough. I'll be like, alright, going swinging. There we go.
Alright, I'll hold Sacred Flame again for the same thing. Starts making the same move that I saw the other one make, then I'll go ahead and do it. But I'll open the door
Ready to fire.
and
So you open the door, and you see another room, in much the same array, except this one has a bed and a small like end table, and then like a cupboard or like a small chest of drawers on the one end. As you walk in and look around, you don't see anything here. And then you look to the bed, and underneath of the covers, you see this like movement around.
I'm gonna
And you
stab
hear a vague.
sound like the same sound we heard before.
It's the same sound. Yeah.
Okay. I'll place a Sacred Flame.
Sure, you do so. So it's dex save.
Yep, 13.
Might as well make 2 of those.
Succeeds.
Nice.
Succeeds on the first dex
Oh wait,
save.
no,
Does it
never
take
mind. I
any
have to
damage
hit.
from that? Is it half damage from Sacred Flame or no damage?
I don't think any damage. Let me double check though.
So Wade, roll to hit.
Yeah, no damage.
Oh, I hate Landapar.
Would you
11?
No, I kind of like it.
Just misses.
Boy.
Just. Yeah, you guys watch as Wade and Lakin just and the bed sheets start to slowly burn off, and you watch as it pokes its head up from underneath.
I'll
It
stab
starts
it.
walking towards you, Wade.
It's
Let me
in
pull him
Gator
down.
hunting pose.
And since no one else attacks in this turn, it's going to
stab
attack
it.
you, Wade.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stab it.
Well, okay, so Izzy, you get your attack off first, and then it's going to attack you, Wade.
Yeah. So. Oh, fuck. That's not great. Let's see. That is a fucking 11.
11. As it runs
Fucking
towards
shit.
Wade and jumps down off the bed, you just swing over its head as it ducks down.
These ice cream days are rolling like shit for me.
Wade, as it goes to attack you and do the same
I'll
thing
take
that
him
did to
back.
Thyra, just bite your foot. You just pull back instinctively, and it just and sees the two of you now flanking it. It starts running off this way. You get an attack opportunity if you have a melee weapon.
I'm used to dodging teeth. I
And
do have
Izzy,
a
you also
dagger.
get an attack opportunity.
Yeah, I'll make an attack. I'll let wait.
Would I get one too? Since how it entered and then left my space?
Yeah, you would.
22.
No, you wouldn't, because it's behind the door, or it's behind the wall, and you're not in the room. So the wall is kind of
Okay,
blocking
that's
your
fine.
attack on it.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's 22 hits. So roll
Yeah,
damage.
it was 4 total.
Nice. Izzy?
13.
13 hits.
Oh, thank goodness. 17 damage.
Yes, dude. Yeah. Wait, as it runs past you, you feel pretty good about yourself. Like a little spout of blood comes out of it, and then Izzy just almost like this serrated blade just cutting into the back of it as it and like stumbles and keeps walking forwards. It's now dripping like red blood all down towards the corner of the room where it is now like hiding and backing up.
Are you sure that these things aren't like Chaos's pets?
I'm gonna turn and look at him and go, Karos would eat his pet. We'll turn back. Alright, who's going now?
It's the top of the round. Anyone can go. Anyone who wants to.
Throw another Sacred Flame at it, I guess.
This is your rodeo. I'll let you get the kill in.
17 succeeds on his dex save.
Yup!
As you conjure the flame and just... He watches it. The mouth opens and the flame just goes straight through the jaws and just singes the back wall.
Sacred bolt. I mean, not sacred bolt. Firebolt. Firebolt? Fire.
Sacred bolt.
I'm saying I went for firebolt.
Yeah.
So bad at math on the fly. It's like 23 or something. I think it hits.
It hits, yeah.
I think I do 2d10 now. I just gotta double check. Yeah.
Ooh, 2d10, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Look at you.
Swole. It's 7 damage.
7 damage?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As you go and lob the flame, you watch as it closes its mouth. Just it's almost like doing it one tooth at a time. It just, and as it rejoins and its eyes turn to look at you, it flames blasted in the face. It's now physically on fire and just starts running around in a circle trying to put itself out.
It's not dead yet?
It's not dead yet, but it's real close.
Alright, I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna stab this thing in the
Yeah, go roll attack.
body face.
Kind of feel bad for it.
I don't. Fuck, that's a 10.
10? Yeah, you walk up like, fuck this. Your blade arm hits stone as it just runs away. You get an attack opportunity if you want to.
Yeah, that's a fucking 16 plus
16
3.
hits.
That didn't want to do the rest of the math. 19. This thing takes...
A lot of fucking damage.
It actually does take a lot of damage. I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3. It takes 6 damage.
6 damage, yeah. As you push the blade forward, you start to see it run, and you just turn the blade horizontal, and as it runs, it just cleaves itself in half, running forward to escape the flames. As the top half just dissects from the bottom.
Nice.
It's
I
gone.
don't like these things. I don't like them. They're terrible little things. I want them all to die. Alright. 2 more.
Man,
What
here's
we do.
excited for a fight. These things ain't got nothing.
These are weird. I like him.
Alright. And I'll head back to the other door, wait for everybody to stack up behind me, I guess.
Yep.
I'll unlock and open the door. Actually, before I do that, is Faith still down here?
Yeah, she's still down there. She's just
Okay.
like gently holding her hands and just watching.
Okay. I'll unlock the door and open it. Same thing
Okay.
as last time.
Sure. So
I'll walk
As you
in
unlock
first
this
this
door.
time.
Okay.
you see this room, which appears to have 2 of them in instead, holds a simple bed against the back wall, or sort of off from the back wall. 2 end tables and a chair in front of it, almost like hospital-like. You know, it. Someone would sleep in the bed, someone would sit and just watch them. And from the back wall, slowly trying to dig themselves out of this particular room, but not quite managing to do so. You see like scratches on the back stone wall. You see 2 more of these small creatures just in there. So Lakin opens the door. Everyone rushes in, so everyone move yourself in. Faith is going to stand right here and watch. Or she'll be on the other side, because that makes more sense. So, everyone,
Room.
get
I'll
your
check your
attacks off on your individual things.
Sacred Flame.
Flame.
On which one?
The one on the left.
Okay. So So the one on the left is a 4. Roll damage.
Yay! 9 damage.
9 damage, nice. Yeah, you conjure the flame and just almost like not wanting to damage the furniture, just lands inside the mouth, and you see the mouth like open out real wide and the tongue start to loll out as it starts to just run straight towards Thyra.
I'm gonna attack the one next to me with my sword and my fist.
Go for it. So roll 2 attacks.
Natural 19 for the first attack. And I'll roll
Hits.
the second attack, so it gets away natural 16, so I assume both of those hit.
They both hit.
Cool. 9. That is 15 damage from the sword, 15 necrotic.
Okay.
And 8 bludgeoning from the
Nice, dude. Yeah, you just and it just fucking it's just dazed and confused.
These things don't die fast enough.
My firebolt was a 27, and I'm aiming for the one at Izzy. 18 damage. Whew. That's a firebolt.
Yeah, you seeing Lakin go like over the top, like an underarm throw. You just like jump and just fling it towards it. As it hits it in the side of the eye, you feel it dies.
Nice.
It dies.
Slowly burning in the corner.
Woo!
Alright, I'm gonna
Wait, so- Yep.
I'm gonna extend my hand out to the one, kind of like in a stopping motion at the one like that ran towards me, and I'm going to say Nif Sprayala and cast poison spray,
Okay, sure.
Ooh.
and he will need
So-
to make a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20. So does he take any damage at all? Because
It doesn't say, so it's a cantrip, so I would assume no, because usually cantrips it's all or nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, as you hold out your hand in a stopping motion, you watch as it just runs, like it hits your leg, instead of realizing that your hand is there, and looks up at you as you utter the words and feel the poison start to seep out of your hand, and it just runs off down under the table and around. It's gonna go over this way, so you do get an attack opportunity on it if you want to.
No, it's retreating. I'm not gonna attack it.
Okay, so now it is its turn. So it's gonna run clean out the door, as it now sees that there is a space open for it. So it's on the way, gonna attack you, Wade, and Wade, you also get an attack opportunity on it if you want to.
Okay.
Drive by.
6. That's a 10 to hit.
And misses.
Yeah.
I'll,
As it's running up to you, it like sees you and just jumps and tries to bite at your hand, and you just dodge out the way.
yeah, I will swing back at this thing because I don't know its intentions, and it could go after that elderly woman. So I'm gonna 18. So that would be in the 20s, 23
Hits
something,
for sure. Yeah.
and 5 damage. Dagger.
5 damage. Yeah, as you pull your hand away, you just jab it on top of the head, as like a little spout of blood just comes down on your hand, but it just keeps running. It's not dead yet. That's as far as it can go, so the rest of you can go.
I'm gonna go out the door, and
I'm gonna follow it.
I'm gonna bonk it on the head, non-lethal with my rapier.
Okay. So roll for an attack.
Dirty 20.
Hits.
Fucking what the hell there's 7 damage.
7 damage. Yeah, as you bonk it on the head, you seem to like basically make contact with where Wade hit it with the dagger, and with the very, very end of your rapier seems to just dig into the wound and twist and come up. It's not stopping, but it is hurt.
Okay.
Punch it.
The rest
I
of you,
can't.
what are you
Oh,
doing?
you can't, right?
So I'm moving up to it and I'm following it. I'm not gonna attack it.
Okay. Wade?
Wade's gonna run out. Oh shit.
Wade.
Wade's gonna run out the door and get his gator on and go for a grapple on this thing.
Okay. Roll an athletics check.
Alright.
Actually,
What?
could I have used the rest of my movement to get in front of it? To kind of block
How much
it
movement did you have left?
off? 10, 20, 25. Okay, I would have had to use dash to get there.
I mean, it's a bonus action for you, so I'd say sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Wild Magic Surge, or not my Wild Magic Surge, I'm sorry, my Tides of Chaos. Get advantage on this roll.
Okay.
Means that DM, at some point, you can make me roll on the Wild Magic Surge.
Okay.
So it's athletics. Ooh, actually, I have +4. 16.
Yeah, you see like you can run around and try and block it, and it tries to go around, and you just catch it against the side of the wall. Roll on your table for me.
Oh, we're doing it. Okay.
We're doing it immediately.
Okay.
It's the best time to do a wild magic surge.
Immediately, yep.
Explodes.
A little bit more fun to do it like whenever we get back to the bar. And he just like explodes in a fireball.
No, it'd be
In
better
this
if he
situation, I think
explodes.
this is good.
If he explodes in a church and blows it up, we're gonna get kicked out of this town too.
19.
It's will be fine. It's fire.
19. Yeah. As you feel your arm make contact and you just hit it against the wall and just keep it there, you feel like you can do more on this turn. You can take one more action.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Okay,
Another
cool.
good one.
So I, after I pin it against the wall and I scoop into my arms like I would a gator, can I, like, if I can't do this, let me know. Can I headbutt it and try and do the non-lethal damage?
Yeah, I'll allow you
Okay.
to do that.
Sweet.
Yeah, roll an attack. Not proficient with dex or strength.
Okay, just a straight D20.
Yep.
14?
15 hits.
Okay, yes.
So roll a d4
Roll a D4.
and add your dex modifier.
Next one. This is fun. 4 total.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you headbutt it in the eye as it blinks. And blinks back at you. It's going to, now that it's its turn, it's going to attempt to bite you
Okay.
in the face. That's definitely cocked. That's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 13 points of piercing damage
13?
as the mouth just gets closer and closer to you, and you feel it sink in right in front of your ear and on the back of your head. As your vision kind of goes fuzzy for a second, and blood starts to like appear down in the side of your eye.
I am, after it's done, I'm going to immediately move up. See, we're not trying to kill this thing, apparently. And I'm just going to punch it twice.
Okay, so roll 2 attacks.
Fuck this thing.
Non-lethal! Woo!
That
It's
is...
the best!
That's 12 to hit.
12, okay. And what does the other one get?
I haven't rolled that one yet. The other one is lower.
So as Wade is holding it there, you go to strike once, and it sees you last minute and just dodges out the way. You see his head just go, ow, 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 ow. And the second one, you manage to make contact.
Oh, nice. That is, let's see, it's 7 non-lethal damage.
Yeah,
Is it
you
still
punch
alive?
it. It's sagging, but it is still blinking.
God damn it!
What did you think? Like, damn it! Oh, sick!
It's
Little
got, it's got
demon
1
thing,
HP.
damn it!
It's got literally 1 HP.
God damn it!
Just stab him in the feet for anger's sake.
So yeah, Thyra, Wade, and Aiken, you all still have a turn if you want to do something.
Fucking-
Wade, how low are you?
Oh, I'm good.
I'm
Seems
not
like
gonna do it.
Much health.
There was
I'll
nothing. I've gotten
bop
a bit
it
way
again.
worse before.
I'll bop it again.
Okay, roll for an attack.
That's a 26.
It's like fun.
How much health did it have left after my attack?
It had
One.
one. He literally
Had
said
one.
it had one. It had 1 HP.
Yep, that's it. It's now it's sort of asleep in Wade's arms. Wade, you just hear the gentle like.
He starts petting it.
I'm gonna grab the thing.
I want
like
to
come out and gently lick the side of your face.
I want to look at Faith and see what her reaction was to us not actually
Us not
killing
killing
this
it.
thing,
Yeah.
or
seeing
us
unconscious,
also killing things.
She is now beginning to walk up to you guys, slowly in her old woman way. As she gets there, she's like,
You know that these things do not serve a purpose. Yeah,
So we can kill it?
I would recommend doing so. Yeah.
No,
I'm
I
going
mean,
to grab it. Wait.
no.
I'm going to grab it. I'm
No.
grabbing it. From I grab
Everything
it.
can be domesticated.
I
just takes
I've grabbed
time.
He's got a point. He
I'm
does
not
have a point.
grabbed it. I have it. I have
No,
it
you,
now.
You gotta fight me for it.
"Yeah,
I'm
why
not
don't
gonna
you
let you have it.
Wade make an acrobatics check? Izzy make an athletics check
Okay.
to
Can
evade.
I use
this
another?
grapple.
No, I can only use
Fuck
one
it.
tides kill.
Can
I
I
don't trust
can
the
I
guy.
can I attempt to help Wade by kind of nudging Izzy a little bit?
Can he do that?
I'll give Izzy disadvantage,
Okay.
but you'll have to make it obvious. Like you
A
have to
roll
make
higher.
it. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to be stealthy, but I do want to nudge her out of the way
I
because
rolled.
I want to keep this thing. It's adorable.
I rolled higher than my first roll.
okay, fair enough.
What'd you roll, Wade?
And
It's an unnatural 20.
Yeah, wait,
I'm
as you go and like turn and grab the thing closer, Izzy's like already got it. As you turn and it's just you got
All right.
managed to grab the foot before.
I'm gonna put my hands between the mouth and rip it in half.
no, I already named it. Ah,
I already named it. No.
Yeah, you grab one side of the jaw and one side of the jaw with both hands and just Aiken and Wade blood just sprays both of you.
Oh, I fucking hate these little things. Don't name little demons.
kill Jeffrey.
You don't know what it was?
It followed a demonic possession. I assume that it's a fucking demon or some crazy thing from the plains, and they're not good. They're never good. I have one in my fucking head.
They look so cute and innocent.
They're not.
Does
It only bit him twice.
Does Faith flinch at hearing Izzy say that she's got one in her head?
There is a look of confusion visibly, but she chooses
Not
not
a
to
demon.
press.
Leave it be. We'll start walking.
I'm gonna turn to Faith. Was this everything? You have any other pass?
Well, no. As long as the other two rooms are vacant, then yeah, that's fine. I will take the keys back so I can lock the doors, though. If you don't
Why
mind.
weren't you able to get rid of these before? I could have done it in my sleep.
You know, it is a curious thing. They seem to come back a lot. They seem to be drawn to this place, mostly in this room,
And she points to this one up here.
and the far one over there.
This one.
Yeah, I was
Why,
going to
what's
say, I'm going to go
happening?
in that room before we lock it up.
What happened in those 2 rooms, Faith?
Well, this one next to us, that was the one that housed the girl. And the far one was... Something happened with another person related to this case. And, they sadly perished in there.
Going to very pointedly look at Faith, just be like, you told me for us taking care of these problems that you'd answer any questions that I had. What happened in that room?
She like gently smiles and nods.
I'm not keeping secrets or anything. I just would prefer not to say the names. I'm trying to be nice about it. Someone related to the girl managed to eat themselves alive as the demon was transferred into their body. We could not save them.
Do you know where the demon went after the man ate himself?
Well, we can only assume that it perished when he did, but I'm unfamiliar with these ways. I can say that it is not here, and has not been for the past 30 years.
I do want to go into that room. Equa?
Okay.
Are there any kind of runes or anything on the manacles, or is it just straight, regular-ass manacles on the bed?
They appear to be just regular-ass manacles. As you look closer to them, make an investigation check for me.
$24.
The manacles here seem to have been broken out of. They are visibly snapped in a way that you might, like, break them open. One of the chains is broken. You can only assume that whoever was here snapped the chain, busted out the other 3. But the door and the window seemingly are intact. There's no damage to either of them.
I want to go into the room with the girl, where the room we just came out of with the bed and the chair.
Yeah.
I want to take a look around and see if there are any personal effects that may have been left behind.
Okay, make an investigation check.
As after I walked away from the group, I was angry. I would like to speak with Faith and ask, does she know what happened to the little girl?
Yeah, she replies to you. She says,
She was taken into a foster care with a new family, and as far as I'm aware, she had a happy life. We helped pick out the foster family. We made sure they were okay for her. Good people.
Do you know where she is now, or is she just out in the world somewhere?
I do not.
I got a 17 on my investigation.
yeah, you do a thorough sweep of this room. There appears to be nothing here.
So, you said that a relative of the girl ate himself?
Yeah.
Like it was possessed by a hunger, right?
Yeah, that is, I suppose, a way to put it.
And the thing was a demon, you think it was, at least.
Right, yeah.
Is one of the people who helped free her, are they still around somewhere? I'd like to talk to them.
There was a group of us who have since gone to various different temples here. They weren't really instrumental in the case itself, but they helped around. There was a group of adventurers who helped, who were of significant aid, but they also left to continue their travels.
Anyone else, or it's just no one else that knows more specifics about the demon?
No, there was no one else.
Can I roll insight?
Yes, Felis, you can roll an insight check.
I did a smile. I was just like, I know what's coming.
It's going to be terrible. I want to use the rainbow dice. It's the only one's been treating you well tonight, but it's temperamental. That's only a 14.
Only a 14?
Ugh!
You get the sense she might not be telling you everything.
Are you certain there's not someone nearby that would know more? I have a vested interest in this.
Would I be finished in here by now, Equa, and
Yeah,
come
you've
out and be
finished.
able to hear this?
You and Thara will both be finished.
I'm just gonna leave a single family flower.
Okay.
The death.
Sure, fair enough. Yeah, she replies to you, Izzy. She says,
Look, there was another person who worked on the case, but he has since perished, I am afraid. He was a long-time friend of mine.
What was his name?
His name was Marcus.
Did he have any sort of notes, anything, any living relatives I could speak to?
No, he was not really one for family. It was just me that he hung around for a long period of time.
So you're sure you don't know anything about the demon, as it was?
I am sure. Yeah.
All right. Yes, thank you very much. I have letters to write.
okay.
Hey.
So, yeah, you guys start walking out.
Sure you don't know where to find this Marcus guy? I may know somebody with a demon problem of their own.
Respectfully, child, he was very dear to me. He's no longer with us. And I am very believing of that.
Sorry for your loss.
Just nods. So yeah, you guys start walking out. As you reach the top of the staircase, you see her turn around and lock the door again. Put the keys down and begin to sit back in her usual position.
Right, well, if anyone has any other questions, I am here. Otherwise, you have been of great service to us.
Well, you never answered my questions from earlier today.
Oh, well, please, if you have any more, I shall answer them too.
Before I go, I had something to do. Is there a place I can send a letter from? Right.
In this town, there would not be. We don't really get other letters around. You might be able, if you go to Rokrovi, there would probably be some form of post office. But we don't have an office here.
Headed the opposite way, so great.
I see.
Yeah. I'm going to leave and look for any sort of traveling merchants that are headed towards Rokrovi, as you guys do.
Okay, so Izzy leaves. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm waiting for the answer to my questions. From
Okay,
this
she will
afternoon.
answer all of your questions. So are they just about the Raven Queen in general?
Well, no, just like the questions I asked about, like as far as knowing anybody, like that's been reincarnated specifically. If they have, like, if she knows somebody that could help me kind of get a feel for this magic, and then if they have any more of their little robes.
Yeah, so she told you about the reincarnation thing, that she didn't know anyone. In terms of getting to terms with your magic. She offers help with the religious side of things, but is unfamiliar with strong magic itself, so is not of too much use there. Recommends it if you would like to delve more into the world of magic, then the equaisnotfunny may be for you.
At the mention of reincarnation, Thyra's going to slowly and quietly back away.
Okay. Fair enough. You can do so. In terms of the robes, she does allow you to take not a whole set of robes, but she allows you to take just a basic upper and lower portion. There are no sleeves on this one; it's not finished, so it's sleeveless. But it is
Sweet.
Like a long. It's robe-like. It ends in like a long gown.
Okay.
But it's tailored to a guy, so it's chest pieces and whatever. And
Okay.
So,
And one last question. If she knows of any kind of, like, I guess, enemy of the Raven Queen that would utilize crows as kind of scouts or something like that.
okay, yeah. You asked this, and she says,
I don't believe in any particular deity that is in use of crows. It almost sounds like a mockery to her, or an impersonation. If I had to guess, it was someone who was aware of it. Otherwise, I'm not sure.
Okay.
How far is it to the edge of town?
it's not far.
Okay.
You
Wade
probably get
walks
down,
to
like,
the
10
edge of
minutes.
town, and he starts digging.
Okay, sure. You begin puppy digging, just as you do.
He'll probably grab a big rock as the shovel part.
Are you burying the demon we killed?
Yes. That's exactly what he's doing.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna go back and check on Free.
Okay, sure. So you begin making your way back to the pub.
Yeah.
Wade. It takes you a little bit of time, but you eventually dig a small hole.
Place the two halves of the demon dog in there. Take my
It's
hat
like
off
still
again.
kind of hanging on at the very, very bottom, so it's like dangling there. Just gently lower it in.
Oh, Jeffrey, we did not know you long, but you had teeth that any gator would envy. You took a chunk of flesh right out of my neck, and I have not been surprised like that in quite some time. Here's to you, Jeff. And he'll start digging the dirt back over.
Then you hear in your head, "Rest in peace, Jeffrey. I didn't know you long, but I wish I did."
Thank you, kid.
You're welcome, buddy. And then what are you doing, Wade, after you bury Jeffrey?
I'll head back to the Ale's Bottom.
Okay, sure. Alakin, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go sit in the church for a little bit and pray. Now that I cleaned out her church.
You do so.
And see if I
Izzy.
get it.
Make a perception check for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have that idea. That's a 6, my dude.
No traveling merchants around that you can see.
I'm having a bad day. I'm having a really bad day today. So I start talking to a random stranger. It's like, got attacked by little demons. I made one of my friends sad because I killed one of them. Now I can't send a letter to a tank that's just down the road that way.
Yeah, not even looking at who you're talking to. You finish your little statement and you look up, and it is like a mom with a young kid, like a little young boy, and the boy's looking up at you like wide-eyed, and you hear him say, "Cool!" And the mom just cups his ears and starts walking away.
Yeah, that seems about how today is supposed to go. Alright. I'm just gonna mope my way back to the inn.
Okay, everyone's going back to the inn apart from Alakian. Cool. So, you get back to the inn. You see, as you come back on one of the far tables, with a number of mugs on the table, you see Loven, Asmin, Ist, and Fet are all there, sitting around a table talking. As you walk in, the eyes sort of turn to you. Asmin looks up at you, Wade, says, "Oh hey, where did you go?
I don't want to talk about it.
Are you okay, Wade?"
I'll be in my room.
Yeah, as you go and leave, you see Asmin whispers to the rest of the group and runs after you to go and console you. Thyra, you come in around about the same time. You go in a freeze room, wake Free up. She is.
I'm not gonna.
groggy.
If she's asleep, I'm not gonna wake her up. I'm
Okay.
gonna go in.
Let me see. Around this time you're 6, so I'll say she's up. But she's lying down, still green, eyes closed, hand on the head, just
I'll go find. I'm gonna go downstairs. I guess one of the first twins I see.
Okay.
Could I?
Sure, I'll say the one that you see first is the one that you haven't seen yet. It's the larger of the two, who has a ponytail on the back instead of shoulder.
Can I remind you, Equa, if you don't know, that they're not actually twins?
They aren't twins, you're right. There's a lot happening today, right?
Yeah. That was just Wade's thing. He thought they were twins.
Yes,
So
no.
if you want to throw that in there.
But Thyra doesn't know. you
Yeah.
know?
No,
Yeah.
she doesn't. No.
So, yeah,
Excuse
that's
me.
what you see first.
Do you have a rag with maybe pitcher of water?
Yeah, you see her turn around, sort of a more brawny half-orc, and she says, "Oh yeah, sorry, follow me." And she gets up and starts taking you out to the back of the kitchen. Grabs a bucket
I'm gonna follow her and check her out.
and check her out.
Smoochy time.
Okay. Yeah, she grabs a bucket and starts filling it with water from a big bath that they have that's full. She goes off to find a rag, comes back, says, just tosses it in. You hear the right, here you go.
How do you keep fit like that? It's hard for me to work out on the road.
Oh well, I do a bunch of odd jobs here and there, a lot of physical work. But I like to get a run in every day, at least. A couple.
Do you ever do
sit-ups,
any
push-ups.
sparring?
No, I'm not much of a fighter. I mean, I don't mind, but too few
Oh, yeah.
hours in a day.
Well, if you want to learn a few quick moves, let me know. I don't know how long I'm here.
Thank you.
And I'll take the bucket and the rag up to Free and get the rag wet and kind of dab the sweat off of her forehead.
Fair enough. Yeah, you do so. There is a residual from Free.
Or free.
But that's it.
Pretty good. Pretty good Free.
Do I come in pretty soon?
Yeah, you come in not long after.
Look around and be like, what is Iceman? I need to speak with her.
Hold on. I gotta get my music right. You said, where's Asmin?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you see Loven turn to you and...
Do you speak?
yeah, as you say, very intently looking at him, he's like, And you see Ist and Fet. Ist turns around and goes, yeah, he speaks. Why?
He's never spoken a word in front of me.
He's shy. He's got social anxiety.
I'm sure he does, but he can say hello. Or like upstairs. Just speak, damn you, speak.
Yeah, you watch as he is like kind of getting visibly like a little bit scared and starts scooching his chair beyond one of the half-orcs to hide
I'm gonna go
himself.
upstairs now. I'm going to leave. I'm just gonna go upstairs.
Yeah, you go upstairs. You find Asmin in Wade's room, sort of hand on his back. She's saying, now, you didn't know him very long, and I'm sure he was a great little guy. You gave him a proper burial, and that's all. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by simpletons and idiots. Going to leave the building. She doesn't know where
Okay.
she's going, but she's going to leave now.
Sure, you leave the building to wander around town,
Yeah.
collecting your thoughts for a while. Great, so, does anyone want to do anything before we wrap up the game?
I'm good.
I mean, I'm trying to reach out to fucking Raven Queen again, but probably to no avail, knowing my luck.
Just go to brood angrily. Go to climb the building in the rain.
Yeah, as you try and reach out to the Raven Queen, what are you looking for?
Any kind of response.
Okay, so
Anything.
Okay, make a religion check for me.
How mad are you right now? I just said fucking anything.
I'm not mad, but your DC is really fucking high.
It's like a spider bite in the ass over nothing. Doing so.
Would it help if I was looking for something specific?
You don't know, possibly.
Fucking. I guess I'm looking for some kind of recognition for helping out this very ornate church and trying to seek help in connecting with her more, I guess.
Okay.
Kind of recognition.
That's a
in that
lot
fact.
better. That's a lot better of a thing to ask for. That helps me out greatly. Make a religion check.
Okay. 19.
Okay, sure. Yeah, as you extend your presence out into a space where you think it might be felt by her, thinking about what you've done in the church today, thinking about the place of worship that you are in, and all the people that you have now met who are also devotees of her. As you put yourself out there, you feel her gaze upon you. You feel her looking and recognizing that you're there. That's what you get.
Okay.
What? What's? I'm looking at like the stats.
The voice rings out in Thyra's head. Hot dog, not taco.
Oh my
And you
God.
feel the application towards you shift and reverse. That's where we'll end the episode.
There.
God
So,
damn it.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Emoris. Ended on a really weird note. Yeah. Weird. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed. If you aren't already watching, be sure to watch Fandalva on Fridays on Twitch and Saturdays on YouTube. And catch the VODs for this on Wednesdays on YouTube. And catch After Emoris on Sundays on YouTube.
And that is something that I was fixing the cameras at the beginning of the stream. I forgot to mention that After Emoris Sunday, yesterday, did not go up. That was my bad. It should be up tomorrow night. Should be.
Good enough for me. So, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for coming out. we'll see you next Monday. So let's keep making stories together, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Emoris. Toodaloo.
Fuck Jeff.
I forgot that I was the one in charge of stopping the stream.